we're on a Detroit kick right now,
Well, it's kind of a boring list once you started
but
realizing like who was
realizing
out.
like who actually has that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So JV.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Balking Points. I am Trev, the not so internationally famous like my counterpart here, Scotty, who we are making internationally famous, which we just need a few more people to hit the subscribe button and then we will get him there. So welcome to the
I
show,
like it.
sir.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Internationally.
Internationally famous. You're locally famous right now, but we need to get
We'll
you at least,
we'll go with that. We'll go
yeah,
with that.
yeah, absolutely. Wow, my camera's a little messed up. All right, that's better. All right, so on today's episode, we are going to be talking about Hall of Famers.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
we're going to be discussing current players that we think will possibly make the Hall of Fame. Um, I do want to cover one person who literally ended his career this year, so he's not a current player anymore.
Mr. Pujols.
Mr. Poolhouse, and I want to do 1 minute on him. And we've had this discussion before, but I think what we both agree on is if he is not unanimously picked as a
Yes.
first round hit, I want those writers' cards and I want them removed from
They should be.
making
Yes.
making
Yeah.
decisions, whatever it is, it just done
Yeah.
because
I mean, at least give us a reason why,
yeah,
because I cannot think a reason why not to.
100%. Yeah, there is no reason why pool hosts cannot be, or
Unanimous
shouldn't. Yeah,
first
should
ballot.
not be first
Period.
ballot. I
Yeah.
mean, what do you need more in his career to say, yeah, this is the guy?
Yeah. I'm sorry if he's not unanimous, then nobody.
Nobody is.
No,
Nobody
nobody
is.
can be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're done with that. I just wanted to cover that real quick. And how many do you have, sir? I have.
Well, I've got four that are, I think, pretty legit,
Mhm.
and one that I think is, if their things go the way they are trending, he certainly should be in the conversation as well.
Okay, I have five that
Okay.
I think, and then two that maybe, and then one for fun.
I see.
So, but I don't want to give my three possibly in case they're on
No,
your list, so we can
that's
save
fine.
those for the end. So, I don't know
So
if
we
you
should start
had.
at the top of both of our lists and
Yes,
say Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera. How'd you guess?
As far as I'm concerned, he is the one active player right now that is near or on the same level as Pujols.
Correct. Correct. I don't think they're going to give him a first, a unanimous first ballot,
Yeah,
but I think he is a
he will
first
be.
ballot.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
So I have stats in front of me, and so for Miggy, currently right now where he's at 3,088 hits,
Yep.
507 home runs. His
Yep.
career batting average is 308. He's got 1847 ribbies, 40 stolen bases. I threw that one in there for fun.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, yep. I don't know why. And 22 MVPs, seven Silver Sluggers,
I wrote down
and
all this
be
stuff too.
oh, okay. And just because they're going to use this one, even though I'm not a fan of this stat, his career WAR is 69.3.
Sure.
I don't know. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I mean, yeah. I the batting average of 308. That's
mm-hmm.
highest among current players,
Yes. Yeah.
which is amazing given the fact that he's going into year 21.
It is because usually you see a pretty
Yes.
big
Yeah.
decline.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
then
then among all those things, like, you know, he's what, 25th in hits right now, 27th in home runs, 14th in RBIs. I even went so far as extra base hits. Extra base hits. He's 16th.
Mhm.
I mean, what else? What hasn't he done?
2 MVPs, one where he won the Triple Crown.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I'm sorry. The Triple Crown season. As close as people have kind of sort of come to that. Like Aaron Judge was fairly close this year. Like it still hasn't been done.
right. And
And
it was the
him and
first
Yastrzemski,
one. Yeah,
and that's it in the last what 50 years.
right. So there's something for that right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Two
I think we can move
MVPs.
on.
Yeah. The only thing, which is kind of sad for him, no World Series rings.
Oh yeah, it's got the one from the Marlins.
Oh, he's got the one from the Marlins. You're right. I was hoping for
So
one from
yeah.
the Tigers.
Well, yeah. So
So,
yeah.
but
Anyway,
okay,
I
moving
will
on.
say the MVP on his thing too. He's got two MVPs, but he
Hmm.
was also in the top five and voting five more times. Other than that,
Yeah, you're right. All
it's
right.
very good.
Moving on from Miggy because it's pretty
Number
easy
two,
there. Who's your number two,
yep,
sir?
Justin Verlander.
Oh, that's my number two.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that was
Sorry,
easy.
sorry. We're on a Detroit kick right now.
Well, it's kind of a boring list once you started
But
realizing like who was
realizing
out.
like who actually has
Hmm.
that. Yeah. So JV, he's 12th in strikeouts. He's what 56th in wins compared, all time. First among active players. He's got a rookie of the year. He's got three Cy Youngs. He was top five in Cy Youngs six other times. He's got an MVP. This to me too, like pitchers are not very often considered for MVP. So to have one, and then he was top 10 three more times. 9-time All Star, 2-time World Series winner. I mean, yeah,
So I've got the
that,
stats right here written down.
yes, sir.
244 wins, career
Yep,
ERA 3.24, 3,198 strikeouts, 1.117 whip, one MVP, three Cy Youngs, 77.6 WAR, and like you said, the two World Series.
yep, yeah. He is also
So
first ballot.
first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't see them giving it to
Mm-mm.
him unanimously, but they should. But we'll move. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what more you say about JV. I mean, he's going to be 40 years old this year,
And coming
39
off
year
of Cy
old
Young.
coming off a Cy Young win. I mean, two World Series. He was on all those Detroit years where they were great, in
Mm-hmm.
10, 11, 12, 13. So I just, yeah, I agree with you 100% with
He's
JV.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that was easy. Moving on to number
Okay.
three, sir.
Number three,
Yeah, who's your number three?
Clayton Kershaw.
Interesting. So we have a different number three. I actually have Clayton in my most my
Close.
yeah, like he's
You
probably
know,
going to make the playoff. I don't know if he makes it the first year.
I'm looking at it, and I'm guessing this other guy's on your list. That's not on my list, but when I was going through stats,
Mm-hmm.
he's um, Max Scherzer.
And that's my number three.
He's up there. Like he's right in between Verlander and Kershaw as far as numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Kershaw, he's 24th in strikeouts right now. Fourth among active players with 2807. Um, he's fourth among active players with wins with 197. So he's going to get 200. And I'm sorry, he's got three Cy Youngs, an MVP, 9 All-Star appearances, and a World Series title. Plus, he was
Mm-hmm.
Cy Young top five four more times. So, like the award thing is very similar to Verlander, with a couple less years
Mm-hmm.
that he's played. So, I mean, continue on the same path that he has. I know he's been hurt the last couple, but he gets a couple more decent years. I think he's in.
I'm not going to argue with you at Kershaw. It was actually hard for me to keep him off any list. I
Sure.
honestly, I think I picked three guys that weren't pitchers and two pitchers just because I probably could have filled this whole list with pitchers.
Absolutely.
I was looking at just a whole list of people.
Yeah.
Chapman was one name that I saw thrown around. I didn't put him on any list. Was um, Kershaw, obviously. I mean, there's just
Yeah.
Garrett Cole was another name I saw. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
you could even go as far as Otani,
Sure.
with things. So
That's
yeah,
later on, but
right.
yeah. So who's your number three then, sir?
That is Scherzer.
Okay, I figured, like I was gonna put him on, and then I wanted to put this other guy on that I had in the back of my mind. I just wanted to make sure that his numbers were right there.
But I
But yeah,
mean, with
Scherzer is, top 1, 2 active pitchers right now.
201 wins,
Hmm.
3.11 ERA, 3,193 strikeouts, 1.074 WHIP, 71.7 WAR, and three Cy Youngs.
Yeah, so I
I
mean he's right
mean,
up there with Justin Verlander
right.
with most of those numbers.
Right. The only thing Scherzer doesn't have is the rings.
Yeah, the ring and an MVP.
Hmm.
But yeah,
But you know what? A pitcher
I don't
MVP,
think. Yeah, I think Cy Young is their MVP.
yeah. Yeah, the fact that Verlander did that was just
Hmm.
so nuts. But that I remember that season too. I
Hmm.
mean, he was pitching out of his dang mind.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I mean, you could. I'm not going to argue with you with Clayton Kershaw. I think he will make the Hall of Fame. I guess I just don't like. I don't know if he'll be the first ballot.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
like, and
see.
I don't even know if
Depends on
Scherzer.
where he ends
Yeah,
his stats at.
I don't even know if Scherzer makes a first ballot. He will go in the Hall of Fame,
Oh, absolutely.
but I'm not sure that he even makes the first ballot. And yeah, it was this list was like a little harder because I wanted to have some fun with it, but at the same time, like at the end of the day, I went with stats more than fun. Although
Sure.
my one of my picks for is a lot of fun. So for the like possible down the future, who
Gotcha.
knows? But all right, who's your number four? I wonder if we have the
Well, I'll,
same.
I'll let you do your number four since I only have four.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so for God, I didn't want to do this, but I had no choice. It's Mike Trout.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I put him on the list. Now, this is if he continues to play,
Hmm.
doesn't get injured.
See, right now that's his downfall. Right now is that
Right.
hasn't
I
been
just
as healthy.
there's one stat that all these baseball people have been so high on that I'm not sold on. And that's that.
WAR.
Yep, I am not a fan of that stat. However, he has like the highest one.
Yes. Well, the thing is, like, does that start coming down?
I don't know. I don't know. This
Because
season will.
Miggy had few seasons there that was negative.
Mhm. I don't know. I mean, right now his WAR is at 82.4, but I mean, right. Listen, I mean, these stats currently, he's like 30 years old. He's got 1543 hits, 350 home runs. His career batting average is 303. He's got 896 ribbies, WAR 82.4. He's a three-time MVP. I
Yeah,
mean, that stat alone, the only thing he's got against him right now,
is the playoff numbers.
he has not won a single playoff. I mean,
No.
they've only been once
Yep, and they
and
got
got
swept.
and got bounced and never
Hmm.
won it. So he's never won a playoff. He's never and this and that. So I don't know.
I think he's
I
on the fence.
I think he's on the fence, but I think baseball has been so high on him
That's true.
that he is going to make
He's
it in the.
already,
They've
yeah,
already anointed him. Like for some reason, he's been the king of baseball, and I don't know, he's not as much fun as my number 5 pick. I love my number 5 pick more than I like him, but I don't know if my number 5 pick even makes it to the like. I want him to
sure.
make it to the Hall of Fame, but but he's a lot more fun to watch, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not as big on he's a good player. Let me say this about Mike Trout. I am not taking away that he is not a
No,
great
his
player.
talent is
Yeah,
more than we have seen in a long time.
he is a great player.
Hmm.
He's a little boring in my opinion. He
Oh,
doesn't have a
sure.
lot, not a
I
flam.
think he gets unfortunately he's on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, he doesn't get the same notoriety as if he was playing for the Yankees.
Yeah, I think if the Angels wanted to do him any favors, they would just trade him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put him on a team, let him go somewhere, let him win, let him know what it feels like to be on a real winning team.
Yeah, because like
Um,
everything they've done just hasn't
yeah, it just
gotten.
hasn't panned out. If they trade Otani this year, like you're talking about that they do, then trade Trout too, and just let
Yeah,
him
you might
go
as well.
somewhere. So,
Absolutely.
all right, sir, who's your
All
next
right.
one
My last one
or your last one? Yep.
of guaranteed
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed getting in is Zach Greinke.
Okay, so you went pitcher pretty heavy.
I went pitcher heavy. Um,
I saw Greinke on a list. I'm not going to argue with you on it. I agree.
yep. Uh, most innings pitched among active players, pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so the strikeout to walk ratio, 3.89.
Holy mackerel!
That's stupid high.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for comparison, Verlander is 3.63, and Mariano Rivera was only 4.10. So he's like up there. 223 wins, second among active players. He's got a Cy Young. He's got 6 All Stars, and he's got 6 Gold Gloves all in a row.
Wow,
Plus,
in a
plus he was
row.
top 5 in Cy Young 2 more times. So yeah, I mean he'll get close to 3,000 strikeouts depending on what he does this year. Um, but yeah, I think he's been on a lot of crappy teams,
Mm-hmm.
and he's had to carry those teams.
No, I agree. I think. Could you
And like, but
imagine
his
if?
but his numbers are there.
Yeah, could you imagine if he had been on a Houston and New York,
Hmm. Yep.
somewhere like that where he could have really, really made. I mean, he would definitely have a
Yeah, I mean, he
couple
figured
rings.
223 wins, and he played for Kansas City and Arizona,
Right.
among other things. But like he spent significant amount of times in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. And Kansas City hasn't done anything.
Mm-mm.
So interesting. Well,
Okay.
my number 5 might be one of my most favorite players in the league, sir.
Okay.
And I love watching this guy play baseball. So, and in my opinion, I think he's a Hall of Famer. Um, and that's Bryce Harper. I
Yep.
I think
The boy's
so.
got to stay healthy.
He does have to stay healthy, 100%. And this is always like this whole thing is dependent on if everybody stays healthy. Well,
Yep.
Miggy's done
Yeah.
after this
Those
year.
four that I discussed have had a long enough career
Right.
that they're okay.
I'm throwing a little something out there in left field a little bit with the last two. They got to stay healthy. They're just turning
Sure.
30. They've got at least 5, 6 more good years ahead of them. But he's
Yep.
got, 1,379 hits, 285 home runs, 280 batting average, 817 RBIs, 2 MVPs, 42.5 WAR, playoff wins, and with Philly the way they're stacked, there's a pretty good possibility they're going to win a World Series,
Yep.
whether it's this year or next year. I'm really high on Philly with their ability to win World Series, and rings matter. maybe not as much in baseball as they do in other sports, because we do have probably more Hall of Famers in Cooperstown that don't have World Series rings compared to
Sure.
like the NFL, where you pretty much
It's hard.
need to
Yeah,
have a Super Bowl rings and multiple to be in the Hall of Fame.
correct.
Um, but I think he is fun. Oh,
Excuse me.
bless you, sir. I think he's fun to watch. I think he's got a ton of energy. I like I'm not a Phillies fan by any stretch of the means, but
Sure.
if the game is on and
He's
he's
fun to watch.
playing, I'm gonna watch it, because like watching the playoffs, especially this year, was just a blast. And I'll never forget the reaction he made when Schwarbs hit that blast of a
Yes.
home run that went out of the
Yep.
field in like in a second, and ball was gone or whatever it was, and the look on Harper's face was just like, where did
Yep.
that come
He,
from?
he he plays it very similarly to what Cabrera does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just an
So
enjoyment.
yeah. So
But
I'm hoping, I have a lot of hope for him. So there we go. That is my list. And then do you have any honorable mentions, like people that you want to?
now I got one fun one.
Okay, what's your? I
But
got two. So what do you got?
okay. Well, I'm going to do some comparisons here.
Oh, okay.
So,
I'm just throwing. All right, go ahead.
so we're just going to throw out some comparison numbers.
Okay.
Okay. My guy's been in the league for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go up against somebody that is in the Hall of Fame that played 21 years.
Okay.
So my guy has 1,600 hits, almost 1,600 hits. Comparison, the other one has a little over 3,000. So another a good. I did average of 100 hits a year for 10 years. He'd be at 2,600. Obviously, those numbers can get flipped a little bit one way or the other because you could have 180 hits in a year, which he's done. He has 283 home runs. The guy in the Hall of Fame has 431. I've got to believe that this guy will have well over 400 by the time he's done. Just going by numbers. RBIs, he's got 853. Probably should get somewhere close to 1,500, give or take. Guy in the Hall of Fame has 1,695. He's at a lifetime average right now of 282. Guy in the Hall of Fame was 276. My guy has two gold gloves, as does the person in the Hall of Fame. He hasn't got an MVP yet, but he's top five 3 times. Guy in the Hall of Fame has 2 MVPs. So they're fairly similar, play similar positions. So I was kind of surprised to see that those numbers were pretty.
Oh, lost you.
Uh,
There we go.
so my guy is Manny Machado,
Manny. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
and the guy in the Hall of Fame, probably considered one of the best, if not the best, shortstop third baseman ever, Cal Ripken Jr.
Oh, the Iron Man.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I like it.
So
Um,
yeah.
so mine, for no other reason than, I don't know, I picked Mookie Betts as a
Okay.
possible. We'll see where again, he's right at that kind of same age group as Harper and Trout. So it'll be interesting to see where Mookie does for the next, let's say, 5 or 6 years. He's in
Sure.
LA. Who knows? So
Who
that was
knows?
just kind of I just kind of threw Mookie in there. But my fun pick, that boy, it's gonna be fun to watch this guy if he keeps on the trajectory he's going. He's only been in the league
Mm-hmm.
2 years. So this is,
Oh
obviously
my.
this is anointing somebody way too quickly. But I am high on this team big time.
Yep.
But Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for Toronto.
Very nice.